Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you are watching this video, we are on the countdown right before Thanksgiving. We still got a whole week, but that that lets y'all know sis is greedy. Sis is her. I am greedy. I am looking forward to all the sides, every last one of them. For those that are just meeting me and y'all are like, who is this chick talking about Thanksgiving sides in my mailbox? I am none other than Patrice L. Berry, EA, aka the Tax Cop. I am so glad to be here. Y'all, do you know, I think we started doing these weekly emails maybe about a year ago when it was rumblings about the Corporate Transparency Act, the BOI. And if y'all have not filed y'all BOI and you had a business before January 1st, 2024, your countdown is real. I know people are talking about it. The fines that's going to come in January. Get your stuff done before December 31st, 2024. Please. If you started a business and recently, make sure you have gone and done your Corporate Transparency Act stuff within the first 90 days of establishing that business. I don't want nobody to have no fines, no troubles, no this. And no, we do not offer help with preparing it. We don't. It's going to take you about 7 to 15 minutes to do it. Yes, people are charging. Yes, there are people out there helping. Over here at the Tax Cop, we have done videos to explain to you. We actually had a podcast we did last year to explain to you that this was coming and the things you need to be prepared for. We have some weekly videos. If you need, where we walk stuff through, if you need to see that, cool. All right, so that's my plug. Don't come begging, because we ain't going to do it. But I need you to be right, because I don't want none of my clients or anybody who is a potential client or anybody who is working and getting this email to be like, oh, I got this fines and this, because they talking about $500 a day. Don't nobody want that, okay? All right, so we are talking about auditing this month. Yes. Like, I got to be my own sound effects because if you watch last week's video, my sound effect thing didn't do good. I need to do my stream deck. When my son come home, I need him to help me from, since he getting a degree in electronic film and media, I need him to do his job over here and make sure my stream deck do what it do. So that I can be like, burr, 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 when I need to. Anywho, we talking about auditing. Last week, we kind of explained what auditing was. This week, we're going to talk to you about what happens during an audit. Okay? So, I told you in most cases, at most tax authority agencies, there's two types of audit. A correspondence audit and maybe a face-to-face or personal audit or interview audit, right? Correspondence audit, the tax authority agency will say, hey, something is missing, or can you help justify? We went back and looked at it. We recalculated your amount. We feel like, based on our calculations, you either, in most cases, you ain't paying enough tax. I don't know any time they've actually sent a letter. Well, no, I have seen a few where they've like, we miscalculated. There's some things. We go back. We owe you some money. We'll send you a check in a little while, right? Normally, that is triggered from an amended return or something like that when I see those notices, but not blatantly from a correspondence audit, right? Because they're reaching out to us and they're saying something is wrong. We feel like you owe this. And I have in cases proven that no, the client does not owe this. You actually may owe them more. You may owe them or they owe you less. Put it that way, right? So I will tell you, there is in most cases, and we are working at Total Tax Experience, and on the Tax Cop website, we have been working to actually put out there a simplified version of the audit technique guides that the IRS has. Did y'all realize they had audit technique guides? And they have them for different industries. And we have been taking that information, plain Janing it, creating workbooks and stuff like that. So for most of our clients that are in different industries, the ones that we really work with, to kind of give you a guidebook, things to be aware of, because the audit technique guide is what we would have used in the audit world as our audit plan, our audit guide, as the ways and the things that we're going to test to make sure that you are in compliance with the criteria. Criteria is just a fancy word for saying rules and regulations, right? What are the rules and regulations? What can you get credit for? What do we consider to be income in this industry? What do we consider to be viable expenses? How can you justify this? What processes and procedures should you have in place? Because sometimes revenue officers do have to do site visits, and they will come on site and they'll be like, or they'll ask you to meet with them face to face or virtually, and you will have to be able to substantiate or support what was documented on a tax return. Well, why did you report this? Can you give me the support? Do you have the receipts? Do you have the transactional information to be able to support why you counted that as a deduction and an expense? Depending on who the revenue officer is will determine how deep they will go, how deep they will dig, right? So what you want to always do is be prepared. This is one of the reasons why I love, especially for my business owners, like I'm not saying don't have your journals and your logs. Don't use your spreadsheets. I'm not going to ever say that, right? If it works for you, you like it, I love it. But I prefer software, and there's several different types of software that are out here because that will allow you to generate financial reports, aka financial statements. And we did some videos about what financial statements are, those type of things, some months back. And the reason why I like it is because it'll give you a report to substantiate, and in most cases, your profit and loss or your income statement is what we are putting on the tax return in some way, shape, or form, and we'll be able to crosswalk back to it. And then from those, we'll be able to see and dig deep into those transactions and determine if a portion of it was for business and a portion was personal. Did you document too much, etc.? When we're talking about home office deductions, do we have our square footage? Do you have support for the area that you're counting as your office? Do you got pictures? Are you solely doing that work in that location, etc.? So you need to know what the rules and regulations are. And so there are some tools that the IRS and each state kind of has their own rule books, and they will have their own audit technique guides to let their team, right, their employees, their set of auditors that are doing this function to be able to have some guidelines to go by. And yes, we will be selling digital versions of this where we make it plain English so that you can get through it. Those are coming. They have been coming for a while. We are finalizing those. Those are coming. But what will happen is they'll give you the correspondence. They'll give you a period of time for you to respond. They'll give you a period of time to gather your documentation and your support to substantiate your position against their position and prove them wrong. If you can prove them right or you are in agreement with what they say, they will ask you, hey, if you're good to go with this position, respond back, then I'm good to go. You're not giving us anything else. We cooking with grease. That's Patrice paraphrase. You may have to have a meeting. You may have to be able to go through an interview. And the beauty behind this is you don't have to do this by yourself. Normally, when this is what happens in representation work, there will be either a CPA, an enrolled agent, or a tax attorney, because most of those, we are the three people that can represent people in front of the tax agencies that will go and build your case or answer your case for you or help you work through that audit, right? But you as the tax individual, right? The person who owns the information that's being reported on the return, I want y'all to be aware of the things you need to do. That's why if you were one of my clients and you like, why I got to fill the organizer out to this degree? Does it take all this? Yes, because it allows me to be able to have everything I need. Because I keep telling y'all, I don't want to be getting ready after we got the notice. I want to be ready ahead of time. And this is why I'm able to move in hearings a lot quicker, because I'm like, oh, we got that document. Or, hey, let me check to see if I ever got that document so that I can determine whether or not they're right or we're right. Now, I have some situations where sometimes the client didn't give me stuff. And then I have had situations and where I have misinterpreted something and how we reported it out, and we were wrong. And so I make my client whole in situations like that. That's very rare that has happened. But if we had that conversation, the beauty behind it is I have an audit protection plan that allows my clients that we're doing their tax preparation with. If you get a correspondence, baby, we're gonna take care of that correspondence audit. Why? Because you already paid for it when you filed your tax return at that level, at a lower level. Because if you come and get me after the fact and you didn't do my audit protection plan, or you outside, you're gonna pay more money to work with me and my team to get you through an audit. It's gonna cost you more. So I have built that protection in because we got the information. We got the sources. I'm asking you 50-11 questions. And yes, I said 50-11 questions ahead of time because I am aware in most cases and or will do the research so that I can get in front of the audit before the audit ever comes. That is my goal. So when we say help us, help you, help yourself, that is the stance that we are coming from. Yes, it takes a lot of work. Yes, it is a relationship. Yes, you got to give up a lot of information. Yes, you're going to be answering questions. Yes, we're going to use the document we have, our organizer, as our first point, right? So we don't have to go too far down. But any clients that have gotten correspondence for you, they can attest that I'll be like, okay, we got this, and this. Give me this one piece. Or I got everything. Look at this response. Are you okay with the response I'm getting ready to give? So that we can make sure that you are winning. Because we over here team winning and making sure that we are putting ourselves in the best light. Why? Because as the tax accountant, as the enrolled agent, I know that the documentation or the report I'm submitting on your behalf is the thing that is going to trigger anything that comes from a correspondence stance. Unless, of course, you're not filing. So if you're not filing, then that's on you. That ain't on us. That's on you for not filing. But if we've filed it and you've been working with us and there's something that comes off of that, the reason why is because they may know something or have seen something or interpreted something differently than what we have. And it's on us to help you be able to refute that and be in a comfortable situation. So, summary, what happens? They go through the criteria. They give you some correspondence. They tell you to answer by a certain time. They tell you if you need to have a meeting. You get that stuff together by that timeline. They review it. They come back. They either concur or not concur. And then the next steps happen from there. We'll talk about it a little bit more in our final week. Yes, it will be Thanksgiving week. And it will wrap everything up for y'all. Until next week, peace.